Britain is home to some of the world's most dangerous sea and river conditions. Ensuring our safety is the task of the Royal National Lifeboat Institution and its crews, the vast majority of which are famously volunteers. However, there are some stations which require full-time crews in order to operate, and the reasons why are fascinating. I'm Vanessa Edwards, and like most people on this small island, I've visited our coasts and rivers throughout my life. But now I'm curious to find out more about these stations and their unique crews. The last place you would expect to find an RNLI station is in the heart of our capital city, London.
I've spent most of my career as a journalist, living and working here in London. What I didn't know though was that under me here on Waterloo Bridge, there are a group of men and women whose job it is to keep us all safe when we're on the River Thames. Why do we have an RNLI station on the Thames?
We've started in January 2002, and it was because of an inquiry by Lord Justice Clerk into river safety, and that was as a result of the sad Martyn disaster when a large number of people lost their lives in 1989. And because of that, there were lots of recommendations, and one of them was that there should be a dedicated lifeboat service to rescue people. So consequently, the RNLI agreed to put lifeboats on the Thames, so that's the reason why we're here.
The crew here at Tower Station patrol the river every day, whatever the weather. Of course they have to drop everything if there's an emergency. On average, they're called out around 500 times a year.
I mean, we can get all sorts. Like last week we went to a job where a lady fell off the river wall, so it can be that. It can be from people jumping off bridges, broken down boats, all different scenarios. We do end up with a lot of people in the water.
Man overboard, 20 metres on the bow! Heading forward.
The crew are carrying out a man overboard exercise. Craig works full-time, and along with 10 other employed crew members, they man the station 24/7.
3 metres!
Got him!
For us in the middle of London, in the capital city, it's just not easy for people to leave their desks, run to the lifeboat station, launch the lifeboat and go and rescue someone who might be in the river. And we had to launch very quickly, and the only way to do that was to have crew here and a lifeboat here so that we could launch within 90 seconds, and then we have a good chance of rescuing people.
We do a shift pattern which is unique. We do 4 days on or 4 nights on and four off. So I travel up from Kent. So for my 4 days I stay in London and then go back home again.
As well as the 11 full-time crew members, there are also a group of 45 volunteers at Tower Station who help safeguard the River Thames.
We wouldn't be able to crew it without our volunteer crew, so essentially they are our most important asset for us to crew the boat and do the job we do. The volunteer crew come and do a minimum of 2 12-hour shifts a month with us. They get to spend it with me, good or bad, but then they get ongoing training, they get out on the boat, they take part in the rescues and all that, and they're an important part of the crew, a big part of the team.
It's not unusual to be called out, many times on a day or a shift. And we're in the capital city and we have a lot of things going on around us. Over half our calls are at night, and it's just part of London life.
What I've learned from being here is that these guys are almost London's secret emergency service. So many Londoners don't know they're there, and yet they're responding to a wide variety of call-outs in some really difficult circumstances. And that's why they need those full-time members of staff. Interestingly enough, there is another RNLI station in the UK that also has full-time staff, but it's for very different reasons.
This station is over 200 miles north of the Thames and is situated in one of the most isolated areas in Britain, known as Spurn Point, which is sandwiched between the tidal rivers of the Humber Estuary and the North Sea.
I'm standing on a 3.5 mile long mini peninsula. If you travel about 30 miles in that direction, the nearest place is Hull. But this is nothing more really than a long spit of sandbanks, and it's battered by the wind and the waves and also some really dangerous tides, which is why the RNLI station here is located all the way at the end.
Why is it such a difficult journey to get to the station?
The road to the station in the tidal surge of December 2013 actually took a quarter-mile section of the road out, and all we got now is sand. We drive across the beach to actually get to our station. It's a massive cost to replace a road, only for it to wash away again 2 or 3 months later.
Why does the station need to be all the way at the end of the peninsula?
The station is strategically placed down here because there's upwards of 120 commercial vessels actually pass the point end on a daily basis. If the station wasn't where it is, our response time would increase massively, which is to the danger of the seamen.
I wasn't expecting this. We're standing in a small village.
This is the one and only RNLI station that was actually residential. We lived here all the time with our families, kids, everybody. It was our community.
But that all changed with the aftermath of the tidal surge, which washed away the road from the station to the mainland, making it difficult for the families to live there.
Now what we did, we made the decision. We've actually worked shifts. We come here for a 6-day period and then we go home for a 6-day period.
So the crew here go on a training exercise twice a week, and as you can see this time, I'm going to join them.
Ours is a 7-class all-weather lifeboat, which is the largest of the RNLI's lifeboats. The North Sea, where we are, and the area we have to respond to, it's the best kind of boat. It's really built so whatever the weather is, it can take it.
The crew have to winch down their inshore boat in order to board the bigger all-weather lifeboat, which is moored out in the deeper water of the River Humber.
We work a 9 to 5 just like everybody else. Although we're here 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. We train, there's a boat to maintain, the station to maintain. We're self-sufficient. We have to keep that going. And then we do like every other family, 5 o'clock, we have our tea, feet up. So there's always something to do.
We'll go to a mixture of things. The River Humber is a very big river for shipping. Could be anything from doing a medivac off a tanker or off a cruise ship, or a fishing boat that's got an issue. So it is a big mixture, and also every now and again we've got the leisure boats that go out that maybe need our help as well.
Once the crew board the all-weather lifeboat and pick me up, we prepare to carry out a man overboard exercise in the Humber River, which is executed slightly differently to the one at Tower Station.
See you later.
It becomes my job to point to where the crew member or casualty is in the water. This will help the crew pull up alongside them and get them on the deck of the boat. For this exercise, Ben is at the helm of the boat.
I think I would be lying to say that there isn't daunting times. Obviously the sea is a risky and dangerous place. That's why people get into trouble, and that's why we're there. I am supported though by really well designed lifeboats, really well trained crew. I really trust in all the crew that I work with. I know they've been through the same training as I have. Although there is that daunting aspect, I'm just supported by everything around me to get through that.
So what's happening now is they've offered him the boat hook, and apparently because he's conscious, he's able to get hold of it. If he weren't conscious, they would actually hook him probably under the arm. And now they're actually going to winch him out of the water. It's about 2 degrees in that water apparently, so it's really cold. So even if you are conscious, it can really dull your senses. And also you can get this sensation that you feel very drowsy and then you're not able to look after yourself. So clearly it's very important that they get him out as quick as possible. He looks okay to me.
After the successful man overboard exercise, we head back towards the station, and I even get to have a go at driving the 7-class lifeboat before I was dropped off.
So that was an incredible experience, thank you. And one of the most striking things is how well you work together as a team. Do you think that's a reflection of the way you live?
We have a set team of 5 guys that work together, train together on a day in, day out basis. So everything to us now becomes second nature. And as you noticed, I wasn't driving the boat, I'm the boss. You don't need to, because we train that way, so everyone can do everyone else's job, and it makes teamwork a lot easier for us all. The exercise we carried out today, the man overboard, is an exercise we carry out every single exercise we do. It's important because yes, we're here to look after everybody else, but we've also got to look after ourselves, and that's why we rotate the crew around so everyone knows how to drive the boat and everyone knows everybody else's job, because at the end of the day, if we're not there, one of us is lost, we can't do our jobs.
After experiencing firsthand how the crew live and work in one of the most exposed areas in Britain, it now seems obvious why it's so important for them to be both full-time and residential. With the crew finishing their 9-to-5 day, I start to imagine what the conditions on the point must be like in the middle of a storm, which only reinforces how their presence here is vital.
No one can doubt the importance of all the work being done by the RNLI. We've seen it at Tower Station in London and here at Spurn Point. And we've seen how important it is for them to have those full-time crew. And although they face very different challenges and work in really different environments, there's undoubtedly something rather special about both these stations.